Hey there and welcome to Matt's Garage. Well, today we're going to be replacing the front wheel bearings on my 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe. So this video should apply to 2007 to 2012 Santa Fe's and equivalent years of Kia Sorentos. And you're going to need a 32mm socket to get the axle nut off. You don't need a press. That's nice. These are just a bolt-in flange. There's just 4 bolts, I believe, holding it from the backside. Anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. So I was able to get these complete replacement assemblies off of Amazon pretty reasonably. I've been using these Auto Shack parts on the Santa Fe quite a bit here, and I see nothing wrong with them. They seem like pretty good quality parts. A few symptoms you may notice if your wheel bearings are going bad. You may feel a little vibration in the steering wheel, and often the thing I notice is the sound. The change in sound. If you drive the vehicle regularly, you may just notice the change in sound, but it sounds a lot like a helicopter coming in the distance. That's the best way I can describe it, and I have tried to capture it on video before and it never really shows up very clear, so I didn't even bother this time. But you may also get a little bit of vibration in your steering wheel, and you often notice it more going around corners as it pressures the wheel bearings from different angles and stuff. And you know, you could have a bad CV axle as well that would give some of those symptoms. Another thing you can check is heat around the center of your wheels, but your brakes could again be having a problem and throw you off, so you have to eliminate other possibilities and basically, process of elimination, arrive at the fact that you need wheel bearings. Okay, so 21mm on the lug nuts. A little masking tape on your socket just helps protect your rims from getting scratched up. And then just put the tire underneath the car for extra security. So here's what we're working with. This is the part we're replacing. And so we got to get the brakes off. We got to get these 2 number 3 Phillips screws out of the rotor face there. We got to get this cotter pin out and this 32mm nut off. We have to get the caliper off. We'll take it off right back at the mounting bolts there. I think they're 17mm. And then the actual bolts that hold on the wheel bearing are these bolts here. I think they're 14mm, and there's going to be 4 of them. Anything's a hammer if you use it right. And what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of oil on there, get some penetrating oil or whatever on there before you try and take that nut off. Just going to get that rust scale off too, and then get a little 3-in-1 oil on there. The washer was harder to get off than the nut. And then, yeah, that axle's loose in there. So that's all we have to do with the axle. Now we just got to get these brake components off, and then just the 4 bolts on the flange at the back, and it'll be off. Okay, now with these I like to just hammer the bit into the screw, and that makes sure it's seated in there, and it breaks any rust loose that's in the threads. And then just put firm pressure in on it as you're breaking it loose as well. Okay, so these 2 bolts back here on the caliper mounting bracket are 17mm. Unfortunately, I'll just show you, the upper one here has an interference with the lower strut bolt. So you can either take that lower strut bolt out or just use a wrench. I'm going to use a wrench to get this one out. Okay, my impact wasn't up to it, so there, I won. Okay, I got a 17 here. Get in on the top one, and I'll just use a second wrench on it for leverage. I'm not sure if you can see that. There we go. Okay, and second bolt out. And the bolts are both the same length, so it doesn't matter which one goes back where. And then this, you don't want to let this drop. Just get this off of here, and you can actually set it back here safely. Okay, and now our rotor will come right off. Here you can see that's where the bolts come through on the back side, so we're just going to clean those exposed threads and oil them. Okay, destroy our wheel these threads, and then we'll put some 3-in-1 oil on them. Okay, so these bolts on the back side are 14 millimeter. Now there is a bit of an interference here with the CV axle, and so you can push that axle back as much as you want, try and get in there with a socket, or you can just go ahead and use a wrench. I think that's what I'm going to do, because I have a 14 millimeter ratcheting wrench, and this will go pretty quickly with that too. Okay, I'm back with my 14 millimeter wrench there, and I'm just going to use the hammer to break it loose. Just like that. Just watch this as your ABS sensor is just a 10 millimeter to take it out. There we go. There we go, last one. So join me on the front side now, and we'll get this whole thing off. Just hammer a little bit on it. There we go, you can see it was just really rusted in around there. Yeah, that's pretty rough. This was the better side too. Just do my best to check out my CV axle for any wear, but it seems good. I will say it might be safer to take the ABS sensor out, and I think I will on the other side. I think I might on this side and run a wire wheel around here yet, because when you're hammering like that, this axle can actually kind of work its way against there and chew it up, which it didn't really. I got lucky, I think, though. And you can see my backing plate's in rough shape. That's just rust belt. So get this all cleaned up and get the new bearing in. Yeah, I'll just pop this sensor out. It's not worth risking it. I do always try to do things in as few steps as possible in my videos, but not at the risk of breaking things. There we go. I'm just going to clean everything off to make sure nothing has any contaminants. It's going to, you know, hold it up as it's going back together. I'm going to oil up all my bolts so they're ready to go in there. I'm just noticing the studs are quite a bit longer. I really don't want to have to swap studs over, so I hope this is going to work, that my lug nuts don't end up, because my lug nuts are capped, so hopefully they have enough room to seat on the rim. So these parts are the same side to side, and I think they can go either way up too on that flange. Okay, so you're going to kind of have to pull it in with the bolts evenly. So get them all started now. Okay, now I've gone around and I've sucked it down evenly. You don't want to just tighten one up, or it will go in on an angle and jam up on you. So I've got them all evenly snugged down, and there's really no way to get in here with a torque wrench. So what I'm going to do to make sure I get enough leverage to get them tight enough, I will post a torque spec so that you guys have a rough idea. And if you had the axle out, you could do it with a torque wrench, but I'm just going to use an extra wrench on my wrench for some leverage to make sure I get it tight enough. I'm guessing they're somewhere around 80 foot-pounds or something like that. That's what I'm going for anyways. And then important that we do torque this axle nut properly, so I will show you that later on. You don't want to just rattle it down with the impact, because this bearing has to have a set pressure on it. And then the one other thing is just make sure you wipe off the end of that ABS sensor before you put it back in. Now this step is optional, but I'm just going to put a little black spray paint on here. So I cleaned off the shipping oil with some brake clean, and just going to spray paint this a little so it doesn't rust. And that'll keep the ends of those bolts from rusting too, so that I have to come back in here again and do this. Dress up the whole area a little bit. Okay, so I'll just throw that brake caliper back on now. Okay, I'm just going to reinstall the brake rotor, and I just cleaned up the face of it and put a little paint on it too, just so that the wheel doesn't stick on or anything. And now you just have to, it can only go one way. You gotta line up those holes. So do that. Get our Phillips number 3 screws going back on in here. And just snug these up, don't overdo it, because they really can't fall out once the wheel's on anyway. Okay, I just gotta tighten those up, and I'll leave a torque spec. Okay, so now we gotta put our axle nut back on, and make sure you put this big lock washer on there. Now I am gonna rattle it up with my impact just to speed up the process. Okay, so this axle nut gets torqued to 188 foot-pounds, and that is 255 Newton meters. Okay, so what you can do to jam this up is just use a 1/4 inch extension. I'm just going to use my nut driver, and you just jam it into the vent holes in your rotor. This one's a little rusted up, but normally a 1/4 inch fits in there. And then you can jam it up against your caliper bracket just like so. You want to come up slow and steady to the torque. And then check it. That should be good. Okay, and then I just reinstalled the original cotter pin. Actually, it was still in good shape, and that's the correct way. You bend the long side up over the top of the stud, and the other side gets bent down the side of the nut. So now, before I forget, I'm going to put the ABS sensor back in, and then I just have to put the wheel back on and torque it up to 80 foot-pounds. You just want to make sure that your wheel flange is all cleaned up here before you put the wheel back on, so it doesn't have any chance of coming loose or causing a vibration. It's still a good idea to re-torque your wheels after a little bit, just to make sure. But yeah, just take a wire wheel and clean that up in there. I just want to show the bearing from the right side here. This is the one that was actually worn out, and the reason I replaced it, it was the one making the noise, as you can probably hear here. It's rough, very rough to turn, and it has a little bit of slack in it too, so definitely the problem. And those long studs on these, on the replacement ones, they do fit the factory lug nuts, no problem. They're about a 1/4 inch longer, but they work. So well, okay guys, that's all there is to changing the front wheel bearings on your Hyundai Santa Fe or Kia Sorento. I do hope you found the video helpful and informative. Thanks a lot for watching Matt's Garage. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.